I get asked all the time, what happened for you in your life, Kaz? At 62, I met my soulmate. I got married. Actually, I was 63. I just turned 63. And I got married when I was 65, 3 weeks ago. And what actually happened for me and why I do what I do is that when I left my husband at 50, in actual fact, 48, I'd already stayed in a marriage I didn't want to be in for 10 years. You know, that's a long time. And I thought I was doing the right thing, staying, putting up with, just getting on with it, staying a victim on the inside, feeling sad, but still functioning in my life with my children. But when my mum died, she was 85. She had been single since my dad died. My dad died when my mum was 50. And I realized I didn't want to be at the end of my life and be alone. I want somebody by my side to enjoy things. I was sick of being the single friend. I didn't want that for myself any longer. I was tired of being the single friend. I was tired of being envious of my friends when I saw them with somebody who was their person. People used to say to me, "You're too picky." You know, that's not possible, Kaz. That's a fantasy. All the good ones have gone. I didn't want to go to any events on my own anymore. And I didn't want to live without a partner beside me. I didn't want to be successful in my life, which I was, and then come home and feel that emptiness. Don't get me wrong. I did not need to be validated by a partner, a man, at all. I was very comfortable with who I was. I was worried that I was too strong. I felt that I needed to dim my light, that my independence would scare somebody away. I wanted somebody I could grow with, someone who didn't fear that strength in me, someone who wasn't intimidated by my independence. And I've always been a real driver, a real worker. And I'm not about to give up. I'm 65 and I am not giving up. My life is just beginning on a different platform. I know so much more than I knew then. And I wish that somebody could have told me what I'm telling you. I wish that somebody could have shown me what I show my clients. Nobody did. And I went on badly dating for nearly 20 years. Very badly dating. Actually, if I'm doing my sums right, it probably wasn't quite 20, but it was a lot of years. It felt like 20. And, I wanted somebody who could sit by me when things didn't feel right and we could work it out together. I wanted somebody who was available to have good conversation. They call it emotionally available. Well, I didn't really put that tag on it. I just wanted somebody who could talk to me, who would listen to me, who would discuss things with me. And the ripple effect of not searching that out earlier or knowing how to, what happens is we settle. I settled in some relationships that were just people pleasing, chameleons, people who put all of this forward, who they were, and then they changed. And narcissistic people. I'm very accustomed to that from the age of 17. How did I know any different? I was always attracting narcissistic men because I was vulnerable and my self-esteem was low, or I'd been hurt. And so I was an easy target. Now, don't get me wrong, we've all got narcissistic traits in us. What I'm talking about is somebody who manipulates, belittles. Everything is just about them all the time, discounts you, doesn't take any notice of you. You are not important. But what I learned is when we settle, we silence ourselves. When we silence ourselves, we lose pieces of who we are. A lot of the time, that's what women do. I've done that the same. Rediscovered myself, reinvestigated what's happening with me, always bringing it back to me. But it wasn't what I was doing. It was that I didn't know what to do to make it different. And that is heartbreaking. However, all those experiences have allowed me to pull together a formula that I used that I'm living proof of, where I totally changed it and began dating like a secure woman, like I would if I went into a business meeting. You know, $3 million I was granted from the government to run some programs to mentor women. I gave that back and decided no level of success was worth being alone at the back end of my life. Don't get me wrong. I told you, my life is not ended. It's just beginning on a new platform. But you know what I mean. 65, let's face it. We're closer to the end than we were when we were 35. A whole lot closer. And so I decided I deserved more. I decided I deserved a love that matched my strength. I decided I was not going to repeat the story that my mum had. God bless her. A secure woman, she knows her worth. She knows she deserves emotional safety, consistency, and growth. And she knows she has the right to be loved deeply and sincerely. And I used to say all the time, all the good ones have gone, they'd say. And I'd be like, they couldn't be, because I would make an amazing partner. I am a great woman. And there has to be a man out there that is a great partner, that is a great man that will match me. And I never gave up that belief, but I definitely changed how I was dating. And the rest is history. That's why I mentor women. I've been mentoring women for over 15 years, mentoring women to come out of awful situations where they've come out of homelessness, incarceration, some sort of substance abuse, abuse generally, like helping them feel valued and go and get work or careers, start a business. I've been doing that for over 15 years, but I choose to focus on love. How lucky am I to talk about the possibilities and have aspirational conversations with women about what is possible when we become grounded, trust our intuition, and date with clarity exactly who we would love in our life, what we will accept, what we won't accept, what are our boundaries, who are we, what are our values. That is when you will be aligned with the right person. This is science, quantum physics, right? Neuroscience, whatever we want to call it. Manifestation is what it is. And if you want to manifest that right person, get clear. That's where my From Fear to Flirty formula was created.